of America.
Yeah, yeah. The American Pan Am Ocean or whatever that is. I'm looking for a new name anyway. So maybe I can buy some
Right?
water. Can't buy land, but I can buy some water. You know. So
All right, we should be streaming to Facebook now. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Caps and Conversations. I am your host, Bob G, your web design strategist.
and I'm Lamont Braithwaite, your metrics specialist. And if you ever, I know y'all been waiting to hear this for the longest, because
It's
I
been a
have
while.
been, I put it on a shelf for a little while, but, hold for dramatic pause, please. If you ever need metrics in your business, metrics can guide your business from zero to hero. Just come to me and I'll give you the blueprint. Okay.
The blueprint. All
Yeah.
right, fantastic. So now that we got
But then
all of
again,
that out of the way,
every business has a blueprint, doesn't it? It's you can have a
no, not
blueprint and
every
be a
business.
postal worker. Yes, they
No,
should.
no, not every business. They should, but not every business. Look, how many people go into business thinking that they can make it and don't even plan or write anything down, and then like, oh, I didn't make it. 3 months down the
Well,
line, they lose everything, and then even
well,
the courage to
there
like do it again.
there's a lot of people that can make it or think that they can make it without the other parts or entities of forming a business. And that's the right mindset to go in at, but it's the wrong mindset to have when you don't have the proper, I want to say, training, etiquette, or business acumen. You know,
Well, I
um,
think that guidance has a lot to do with it too. It's a smart thing to have a mentor on your side to guide you through the process. It really really
yeah,
is. Like that's no BS. Like, and anything that you do, you go to school, you talk to a teacher, you go to college, you follow your professor. You
hmm
get help where you need it, student aides or tutors or whoever to help you along the process. Especially when it comes to like surrounding yourself with the people that you admire most or want to accomplish what they have as their goals. You want to have people that you can emulate and move
true,
yourself forward. You can't just go,
true.
oh, I'm gonna freaking build a rocket ship and then tomorrow see that thing blow up in midair. Can't do
Well,
that.
I mean, as traumatizing as that sounds, I was a part of that. Back in the day when we was in school and they roll out the little cart with the TV and the VCR, and we looked at the Challenger Explorer and everybody was happy and it blew up. And immediately they pulled the cord on it. They were like, "Hey man, y'all not supposed to see this." We were like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Oh,
Oh,
what
Fourth of
happened?
July, all of a sudden.
Well, yeah, yeah. And that's traumatizing to little kids. But today we got something special. We're not going to delay it anymore. And this is the first time ever in the history of podcasting that we're doing a podcast from the car. So this is going to be interesting. We got to be, really emphatic to pull this one off, and I think we can do it.
Let's try it out.
So our guest Sherelle
So
Carson, we're going to bring her out the back room and see how it works. Sherelle, how you doing?
Good morning, guys, or afternoon, Lamont. Hello.
what's going
Well,
on?
so far so good. So far so good. So I was explaining this is the first time ever that we're going to do a podcast from the car, from a moving car. So I don't know how it's going to end up. We might lose you for a couple minutes as your cell phone
I
bang
hope
off different towers, but we'll see what works and
we're
how we can
almost at our
salvage it if we have to. Okay, okay. So
we're almost at our
Sherelle,
destination, so it shouldn't be much longer.
okay. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. Uh, how are you, first of all?
Whew.
Uh oh. Uh oh. It's
For real,
beginning.
so a little stressed because I wasn't expecting this. I'm good otherwise. Can you
Well,
hear me?
life.
A little
Yeah, life is
stressed,
full.
but I'm good.
Life is a little bit of unexpectancy, so we just roll with the punches. That's how we learn how to grow.
Yeah, we're rolling with it. But no, we're good. I'm rolling with the punches. We're actually on our way to help one of my sisters. I'm with my sister, my brother-in-law, my mom, my son, and my sister's dog, Bella. We're all in the car on our way to help my other sister and brother-in-law because they're got some moving going on. So
Okay.
we were trying to get there before this so that I would get there on time. But that's life. We rolling with the punches. But yeah, so
Okay.
I'm Sherelle. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a homeschooling mom, and on that entrepreneurship journey, you know. Well, how is it you guys both decided to pick up your cups at the same time? Did y'all plan that?
It's
You did it at the same time. You're not even in
I
the same
was looking
country.
at that. I was looking at
you know
that
it's
too. And I'm
it's
like, this is
it's
not
one of those
happening.
Do
things.
that.
Either he's the left brain or the right brain, I'm the right brain or the left brain,
That
but it
was
works
wild for me just
simultaneously.
to do that.
You know,
That's wild.
we
So yeah,
we got some
that's why
Pacific Rim going on.
Yeah, so like literally rolling with the punches as your car is in motion. But that's really cool, man.
I
You're
promise
helping
I'm not
out,
driving. I promise.
you're
Okay.
helping out family and stuff and their time of need. So that's very, very cool and admirable. Um,
Well,
why don't you
that's
give us a
oh,
tour? Like who all you got in there with you? Who's that
you
person
want a
behind your
tour?
seat there?
Y'all
Yeah,
want to be
yeah.
on live cast?
Yeah, I want to see
They're
mom.
waving. Okay.
I want to see
Okay,
everybody.
so this is KJ. My that's my guy.
What's going
My
on?
guy, my Y. I'm always talking about him when I'm doing my lives. That's Bella. She's not doing the best back there. She's car sick. It's fine. It's
Oh,
in break. This is my mom. My beautiful
Hey,
mom.
mom.
Hey,
hey
Joyce, my
mom,
mom.
how you
My
doing?
sister's driving. Kanita, that's my youngest sister, and my brother-in-law Jimmy
Okay.
right there. He's on his hand up.
Good need
So we are
All
in
Okay.
right.
here. We rolling with it, baby. You know.
It's a family affair. I
Respect
like that. I
that.
like that.
It's a family affair. We got to stick together. Our family's been through a lot in a very short period of time, but we're doing our best to stick together as much as we can. It gets
I
rough,
know
but we
that's
rolling.
right. It's nothing like
Awesome,
family,
awesome.
for sure.
Yeah.
So, this podcast is about Sherelle Carson and her journey on from the beginning phases of. I want to ask just one question. Why did
Mhm.
you want to start in the entrepreneur field?
Why did I want to start?
Yeah.
Because my story starts, even though I really started really going hard in the last 6 months or so. My
Hmm.
story really started like a decade plus. I
Okay.
when I go on my lives, I tell people, I had my child at 40 years old, a child I never thought I was going
Hmm.
to have. Yeah, so there's that. And when he was 3 weeks old, I got really sick and I had 3 blood clots at the same time, and I had to have surgery to have them removed, which they never do. And it's just the way I healed through everything off. I was in the same career for almost 20 years, doing what I do, and had grown in that and was doing okay with it. And I couldn't go. I tried to go back, but I couldn't. And it threw me into a
Oh, it's the inter
my.
pinging.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Sorry. So it started. Yeah, it started there, and just having to let the dust settle from all the surgeries and the recoup and all that, and just saying, what, I want to be able to do something and help my family, help myself, and not have so much outside control over whether I make it or not. And last year really was just like, hey, we made it to my sisters. Um, Last year was really like, okay, we got to do something. We got to do something different. And the seed started a while ago. Um, and I just started doing research. And I just started doing more research, and more research I found. One thing led to another, and here I am.
Okay. Sounds like a journey. I noticed you have a green thumb, and horticulture is a
Yes,
part of
I
is a part
yeah.
of your
Mhm.
growth. Tell us a little bit more about your horticulture. It's
Right.
fascinating because I always wanted to grow some things, but every time I grow something, I don't have a green thumb, and it might last a couple weeks and looks good, but I don't have that acumen in me. You know, are you still there? It's
I'm
just
here. Can you hear me?
yeah, it's just not one of my things to do. I mean, it looks good because I grew up with my grandparents, and they was always growing something. You know, I was always the one, tilling the weeds and stuff, but I wasn't part of the growing process. You know, but how does that
Right.
translate
Right.
to your digital business right now?
Well, that kind of came in the middle of this journey. I decided to go back to school when my son was about 3. I was just like I said, I was mentally struggling with what to active because when you have lots of surgeries and things like that, your body you just don't know how you're going to react. So I started planting things, and one day I was just gardening. No joke, I was planting seeds and crying. decided to go back to school. So I was in North Carolina at the time, and I decided to go to school in Texas. So I was going to Texas Tech. Well, I decided I wanted to know more about gardening, and then I decided to look into it, and horticulture is what came up because I didn't want to just garden. I wanted to know more about
Okay.
food, the whole nine. I wanted to know everything. I wanted to grow everything. So that's what made me do the distance program, which is a digital product, right? So it was already,
Mm-hmm.
the seed was planting back then. So to me, it kind of naturally grew. I was able to learn so much that way, I'm just one of those people that when I learn something, I like to apply it. And so it was like 8 years of growing fruit trees, and I was growing peaches and plums and figs and herbs, and then learning how to garden and plant things naturally without chemicals. So that just kind of, I started doing that. And then fast forward, even when I look at business, I look at the growth. Like, you got to plant. You started with that seed that thought of, I'm going to do this, or I want to do this, but I need to nourish it. And if I give it what it needs, it will grow, right? It will root, it will grow. If you give it some shallow stuff, it's not going to grow and grow strong. But if you give it what it needs in the beginning, that sets the tone for a strong, healthy plant or a strong, healthy business. And I just always compare it that way. So that's where that comes from for me.
So
Okay.
is your business
That
in
makes sense.
horticulture? Does it revolve around, having a green thumb?
Every time I try to get away from it, it goes back to it. Because I always end up getting a lots of questions, especially this time of year. I start getting people that had seen me, like, I used to post a lot about gardening and stuff, and I wasn't using social media to grow anything business wise. I was just like posting, hey, growing this, or hey, I'm trying that. So it's starting to look like it's gonna be, even in a digital space, like, I'm using that as an avenue.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And
Sometimes, like,
I think so.
we
Yeah.
we do escape, or we do try to run away from what it is that is our calling. I remember when I first started with this, it took me a while to figure out, what my niche was going to be, and it just so happened by happenstance
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
fell into web design, and it worked out. It worked out really, really well. But maybe that's your thing,
Right.
Sherelle. Maybe it's, having the green thumb, planting, and like, I know that there's a lot of people out there that have, like, the oddest of niches, but there's nothing odd about yours, and everybody can relate to it. we
yeah.
we like, over here in our little
Right.
backyard, we tried doing tomatoes, and it was
Hmm.
nice, but like, and they grew like pretty and stuff, like plum tomatoes. But we started noticing that, like, all
Hmm.
these, like, I think they're called spider mites, and they got like all webby and
Yeah.
stuff and whatever, and it was like, what's going on with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
tomatoes? We had no freaking clue. And it would have been great to have you, like, as a friend,
Right.
or somebody that we follow, so we can see what the remedy would be for that, because we didn't eat them.
What
They
to
started turning
do?
all
What to
black and
do? What to
stuff on the
do?
inside. Yeah, no, it got all crazy.
Oh,
But we gave up.
yeah.
But it would have been cool to know exactly what to do to remedy that.
Well, you cut off the
Yeah.
bad parts and
Like,
then you eat the good parts. I don't know. That's how they taught me back in the
like
old
most
days.
of us
You
do.
don't throw away nothing, okay? You don't throw away nothing. You don't get it and be like, oh, just because there's a little bug bite on there, cut that off and then eat the rest of it. I'm like, nah, I can't do it.
uh, I don't know
You
about
Okay,
know?
my
that.
mom. Oh my
I
goodness.
don't know about that. You don't want to
No,
accidentally
but
eat a spider.
Baba, really. Well, I mean, there's so many things, microorganisms that that you eat that you don't even know. We're not even going to talk about that today. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to go
Yeah,
too far
that's
together. They never want to eat anything.
well, I mean, it
Yeah,
can't be no
never want to
different
eat a
than what
thing.
we eating.
Um,
It can't be no different than what we eating right now
okay,
because you don't know what you're eating out of a grocery store anymore because they got
you
so
don't
many
know. You really
pesticides
don't know.
and this and that you know and next thing you know 10, 15 years from now you'll be like, yeah, that cabbage that you ate 20 years ago, oh yeah, you got some kind of
It was laced
enzymes in
with.
you or some kind of parasites in you, and you might have an E. coli breakout 20 years from now. I'm not a doctor. I don't know nothing about this. I'm just saying,
Yeah, no,
be careful.
No,
We'll
but
say this. We'll say this.
if you look
Like,
at it
when I
from
was in school,
if you look at it from a business standpoint, right? Like they did that, right?
mhm,
They had like regular groceries and stuff, and then they found out later on that certain things caused certain things. And
Yeah.
what a pivot, right? They said, "Hey, let's 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 bring out an organic line and all this other
Yeah.
stuff." And
Yeah.
they just like, quadruplified,
are
their
you a face
profits.
reader?
And what does that mean? Uh,
Yeah, but it's one of the things
Oh,
that you got
that's
to
a
look
rabbit
out for
hole,
now.
man. That's a rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
it is. It is. We're not going down that today because
Yeah.
we're gonna have the FDA, the
I'm not doing
EDA,
that with y'all.
every, all of the alphabets that's after us in environmental culture, and I can't. I don't even know what half the words are. So, I don't need them tagging
Yeah.
along.
Okay.
So let's talk more about where are you in your business right now. I know it can be a bit of confusing because starting off anything, you're told so much, like as far as you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to bring this in, you have to take that out. Where are you in your business right now? And it doesn't matter where you are because everybody has been to that point.
Right.
well, we're
So I would still say I'm in the early stages. I won't say baby stages anymore because I've been around
Uh-oh.
for
You're really in the country because you're breaking up really bad.
I'm sorry. Can you see me now? Is it better? I'm trying to stay
We can see
still.
you, but yeah, I see you moving around. I'm
Can
like,
you hear me?
I need you to hold one leg up, one arm up, and then the other arm. I need you to have the phone in your hand so you can get the proper reception. You know, it's
is
almost looking like
there
an etch a sketch.
is there Wi-Fi where you're at that you can connect to?
Hang on. Hang
Or
on. I'm
yeah,
trying to watch. I'm trying to do it.
I know. We had an episode previously where
Is it
my
spectrum?
Wi-Fi was switched off and I looked like a robot doing all this, and
Is it spectrum?
and then I got stuck a couple of times, and that's what it looks like right now. We're gonna have to reshoot this, or this is just gonna be audio.
I think audio would be a great idea for this.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
We
No.
gotta save every last bit that we can.
yeah,
Okay. I'm trying to get where you see me. Hear me? Can you hear now? I'm so
yeah. But
sorry.
it's
Can you hear me
pixeling.
now?
So here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna salvage this, and we're gonna let's say Tuesday, Tuesday. We're gonna run a special edition. Hopefully, you'll be at home on Tuesday because right now the internet is not forgiving right now, and
Okay.
it's
I'm so
let's
sorry.
let's let's
We're
let's
on
reschedule
the
you on
same
Tuesday.
together.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
reschedule you on Tuesday so we know you're at home and you have an internet connection, and see if that works.
Yeah, for sure. Cheryl, thanks for stopping by, though. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All righty.
All right, let's put her in the back. All right, this is a rule of thumb. Did I? Is she in the back yet?
I put her in the back, but I think like I don't know if my signal, my mouse click made it to where she's at to cut it off or not.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Well
but
then,
either way,
hold on. Let's see if we can salvage some kind of way. Because if it sticks
no,
there,
that's no
then
problem. I
okay.
want to go back to the whole supermarket thing because when you look at the mass production of like of goods and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we as consumers consume, you know, they found problems in that entire process, right? Things that were like heavily processed, especially for like preservation purposes.
Yeah.
So throwing in all sorts of chemicals and whatever and preservatives and stuff to make the shelf life of these products just last longer. And think about it, like, you're grabbing something that is going to be unnaturally lasting, like, 4 or 5 years on a shelf, and
Yeah,
you're putting that into your body.
yeah,
So what does
and
the supermarket do? The supermarket pivots, and they're like, look, I don't know who they spoke to or how they did it, but they were like, farmers, uh we need to have a different line and stuff because we're losing business, essentially,
yeah,
right? We're getting a bad rap. And then all of a sudden you get this whole organic line come out, and that's just brilliant because, like, they saw that there was a need that needed to be filled,
yeah.
and they filled it. And then what happens a couple of years later? A couple of years later, you have this whole bit of, what's that stuff called? Gluten-free stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's a gluten? That
I
sounds
don't.
like a German word.
You know what? When I first heard gluten, in my mind, I'm thinking glutes. Glutes is like your ass. So I'm thinking, what is this? So I'm looking back and I'm
Ass-free
like,
food.
it's either that or you won't grow one. I don't know how this works exactly, but it was the thing. It was the craze. You know, I'm still not understanding, but what does it actually do? I mean, is it supposed to save you from something or no
I don't
sugar
know.
or
We have a I guess you could say like a distant nephew, whatever, that suffers from the gluten issue. And it's crazy because, like, the kid gets sick. Like, he gets sick.
hmm
And it's crazy to see, like, if you give him food that's labeled as, gluten free,
uh-huh.
he consumes it and ingests it and everything is fine like a normal kid. But it's like, what? What?
I
How much
mean,
of the world's population is really like suffering from this gluten problem?
okay. Let's go back. I want to say 20 years. There was no gluten free nothing 20 years ago. And now everything is
No.
gluten free. You know,
There wasn't even
everybody got
organic stuff back then.
yeah. Everybody got peanut allergies nowadays. I mean, there's actual fact that some people do have peanut allergies, but I've never seen it this bad. You know,
Yeah.
me,
Yeah, to the
I'm
point.
not allergic. I'm not allergic to anything. But then again, I've been tested upon when I was in the military, not in the military, but as a contractor. They give you all these shots. I don't know what I'm taking, so I'm immune to everything. You know.
Yeah. It's people out there that are walking around with those EpiPens. Like, if there's a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
an allergic reaction to something, they just go, and
The
they're better.
EpiPen, get the EpiPen. It's in my bag. I was like, I don't even know what I'm looking for, and where am I supposed to stick you with this thing? Just stick me
Right?
anywhere. Forehead.
If they can talk.
Yeah, you know what? You're exactly right.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Let me stop. Let
Stop.
me
You stop.
stop. Yeah,
Because what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about is, like, if there could be an allergic reaction to where, like, their tongue swells, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
and you can't understand what they're saying.
yeah. And you
Yeah.
know what? I'm allergic to fish, and it's as tragic as
You're not
that
allergic to
sounds.
fish. You're not
Yes, I
allergic to
am.
fish.
And I'm a Pisces. I can't eat my own kind. Go figure.
You're allergic to
So
fish, but, like, what? Hold on.
yeah.
There's got to be something specific in fish that you're allergic to. Not
Okay,
just
let me put it
fish.
like this. You want to know what kind
Yeah.
of fish I'm allergic to?
Yeah.
If it comes out of the water, I'm allergic to it. How about that?
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Oh, why? So I should risk my life just to show you that.
No, but I don't think you should deny yourself, like a tilapia, for example, right?
No, I'm denying myself the cause of death from being crazy because I know I'm. So first of all, my tongue does swell up. First, they get these little micro dots. You already got dots on your tongue, but they like superimposed after that. Then my
Uh
throat
huh.
starts swelling up. I don't know. Should I keep going? Because if your throat closes, there's no more air, Bob. There's no more
Hey, let
air.
me tell you. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna send you an EpiPen with this shirt. That way, that way you can try a fish that I recommend for you. And if you feel that, you just go like, and you're good.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
good.
Claude. Yeah, yeah. I can't wait. You know what? I might as well just shoot myself before I eat it.
Might as
Let's
well,
take
right?
let's take some preventative measures. Why not? You know,
Well, geez,
well,
I
I'm
don't
going to
even know if
try
that's
this
the
fish.
way it
This
works.
fish looks delicious. Get the antibodies in me before it happens.
Oh man.
But
But like for real though, like I'm thinking that like, cause like there's fish out there that aren't they've never even touched the wild. They're all
mhm,
harvested and grown in like little ponds and lakes and whatever that man created.
mhm.
And I think like maybe you have an allergy to an out there fish.
Well, at my age, I'm not willing to try or test it out. To see if that's
I'll
what it
send you
could be.
two. I'll send you two EpiPens.
Nah. Then come to find out, I might be allergic to the EpiPen. You know what I mean?
Oh man, come on, man.
There's so many things, man. Life is very dangerous if you look at it. I
Yeah,
mean, anything can happen at any given moment. I just don't want to go like that. I survived 50
no, for
years on
sure.
this earth. I survived a couple of wars and came home, and a little fish
A
killed
little
me.
fish did it to you.
Yeah, bruh. And everybody will say, I didn't see that coming. But
Oh
yeah, but
man,
well,
so
this podcasting from the car, it didn't
yeah, it's
exactly
not a
work.
good thing. It's not a good
No.
thing. It's not a good look. It really isn't. So if anybody out there is like interested in like being on a podcast or starting a podcast, do not do is from your car,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
especially if you're moving. So we,
Even
we
if you
we'd
got
love to
rolling
have.
Wi-Fi, let's not do
Yeah,
that.
no, no, no. The best thing to do is to be like tethered to your router at home in front of a computer,
Yep,
preferably a laptop, something like that. um, the technology is just not quite there yet,
not yet. But
but that's definitely what you want to do.
we have
Secure
instances
that
of
connection.
AI that probably come up with something soon. You know, uh, like the Tesla, like
The Tesla, the Tesla.
the
Hey,
Tesla.
let
It's
me
all
ask you
it's all
something.
computer.
You play around a little bit with AI? Yes, no, maybe
Yes, I do.
so. Okay. So, have you played around with different AIs, or are you specific to just one?
DeepSeek, ChatGPT, and there was another one I was about to use. I think it's Ruby AI. I haven't used it yet, but
So, DeepSeek and ChatGPT, what do you find to be like the comparables there between the two?
well, they will all spit out information that's pertinent that you can use, but you still have to tweak it for your own use. Don't just pick it up and copy it word for word and use that as gold. What I found out with ChatGPT is ChatGPT, once you use it, this is all information that it goes out on the web and finds the information that you're looking for. That's already been
Yeah,
there.
right.
DeepSeek actually put some thought into it. You know what I mean? And the pros and cons between that, I would rather use DeepSeek because first of all, it's new on the market and it's prompted better. I want to say,
Yeah,
you don't have to add as many prompts as you would have to add in ChatGPT because if you ask ChatGPT a relative question, you're going to get a relative answer. Um, DeepSeek, you can ask it the same question and you're not going to get the same answer because it actually is a thought process in it. Well, it gives you different variables that it goes through. It says, okay, you asked me how to become an entrepreneur and make six figures in a year. And it'll actually think about that question. It'll actually reword that question and give you a better answer than what you asked for. So
that's cool. That's
DeepSeek
cool.
is probably in the lead right now. I would say from use. Um, but there's a lot of people that goes out and say, okay, Chat GPT can build my whole business. I said it can build a business, but not your business because if you don't add you in your business, then you don't have a business. You just have uh, unauthenticated copy of a business.
Right, right. My brother told me about and the name escapes me right now of this AI that isn't so uh I hate using the term, but he used the term woke, right? So like like
Hmm.
when you use ChatGPT for certain things, it'll be, do you prefer this response or this response? It kind
Yeah,
of like uses you to train it,
right.
and he told me about one that's just like, it's out there. It'll reply to you as if you were speaking to a human.
Hmm.
So like disregard for personal feelings and all of that stuff that
Yeah.
and like it acts more, I guess you can say, robotic than what
Hmm.
ChatGPT or DeepSeek could provide. But I want to try DeepSeek, and I'm actually going to conduct a study and see the same variable will be in effect,
Hmm.
or the control would be in effect, where I'll designate it to do a certain thing. Um,
Okay.
I'll give them both the same prompts as far as like you are a master composer, and have it pull all of its resources that it's needed and compose for me like 4 minute and 12-second piece of symphony, and see where it
Yeah.
goes, just to see where it goes, between the two. I think that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you gotta collaborate between the two to see which one is best suited for you and your business. But a lot
Hmm.
of people that use it nowadays, they just say, "Okay, I'm just going to go and ask it a random question and then take it for what it is." And that couldn't be. That's the worst thing to do. I mean, but you have to put some thought processes in the question that you do ask. But a lot of people don't know how to ask the right questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
They were like, okay, chat, I want to build an ebook. Can you build me an ebook on this subject? Blah, blah, blah. Not knowing anything that could possibly help you as far as, bringing readers in or actually people that resonate with your content. And that's one of the biggest problems we have today. And you see it in all the posts, people starting to use chat GPT more or DeepSeek more, and then they copy and paste. They'd be like, hey, man, if I can tell it's AI generated, you're not going to get very far, you know? I mean,
Dude, there's people. This is crazy. Like I find this to be so asinine that there's people on Facebook that will grab your post, right,
hmm,
and throw it into ChatGPT to see what it will respond, and then copy
yeah,
and paste that exactly the way it is.
yeah,
Like they are not using the 2 seconds of a brain it takes to like respond to a post.
yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
man. What are you
yeah.
doing? What are you
I mean,
doing?
I see this on my post. I would, you know, normally I'm here every morning. I say good morning. I'm only expecting a good morning back or a hi, if that. I don't need a long answer to a good morning post that you got from ChatGPT complete with emojis.
Right?
you know, um, I don't know if you trying to make your comment more valuable and you get people to say, okay, he's making a valuable comment. Let me go see what he's about. That's not the way to go. I can tell you
No,
that now. That's not the way to go.
not at all.
Because first of all, people like we said, attention span is wow. The sun is coming out. This is beautiful. But anyway,
Get out there.
yeah. But
Get out there
now
before it
the
goes
way
away.
the way it looks, I'm half man, half amazing. Wait a minute, I am AI. The dark fate. Yeah,
Oh my
whatever you
goodness.
want from here, you're not going to get from here. But anyway, where was we at before the sun just started beaming on me? Is God trying to tell me something? I don't know what it is, but um, I just don't understand it. And well, I understand it to a point where I use it, and I use it a little different than everybody else, and I can't put myself in that category because I actually read it and then I reword it in the way I wanted it said, like first person.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, um,
Absolutely.
now ChatGPT and DeepSeek, they're good for giving you ideas, and people just take it as gold. You know, I don't know
Absolutely.
nobody that's going to go to the grocery store and be like, okay, let me give you my grocery list. Go shop for me, and then you have this AI robot just go by and pick everything. But if I still pluck watermelons and make sure it's good. I don't expect the robot to do that. So the robot might instead get you a watermelon, but it's going to get you the biggest one and say, okay, this is good for your money. But when you open it, it's dry and it's not sweet, and that's how you can. I want to say compare. You know, it's just like that robot going to get a watermelon opposed to getting the right watermelon that you wish to eat. Same thing with ChatGPT. If you go in and you
Yeah.
get that information, and you either going to use that information as it is, or you're going to add yourself or your input into it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a whole lot different. So,
I wanted to touch on briefly the this business model that Amazon came out with. I don't know if you guys have it over there, but when I visited a couple of airports here in the states, they had Amazon stores to where, like, if you look up when you walk in, there's like, I don't know, like 70 or 80 cameras. And the store's not big. It's like, as big as like a living room. It's not that huge, but they have like 70 or 80 cameras and stuff. And as soon as you walk in, right, like the store or your phone notifies the store that you're in there,
mhm.
and then it uses all of these cameras to see what it is that you pick up and put in your basket, and there's no register. You just walk out, and it charges you accordingly based off of what
What?
you picked up. Yes, you haven't seen. Oh man, it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm not. No, because what if I change my mind? I'm not going to that store. I'll be putting
No,
everything in and
if
be
you
like,
change your mind,
yeah, I don't.
you put it back. You put it back. It doesn't. It won't
Hey,
charge you.
you know
I haven't
what?
tried it yet personally. I thought it was like super, like, like cool and whatever, but I
Good
haven't
morning,
tried it yet
Vanessa. Good
personally.
morning, Vanessa. Yeah, but look, that's too much for me. I mean, if I can't just go to the store and then eh, seeing 70, 80 cameras, that's like you know scary. You know.
It is. It is. It is. But I really implore you to look it up and see it in action because it's pretty like intense. It's kind of like when ChatGPT first came out. People were kind of like iffy about it, and like
Yeah,
thinking
yeah, yeah.
they were thinking like, oh man, this thing's gonna take over the world and kill all the humans and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
well, I mean, everybody watched Terminator once upon a time. We know what the
Hell
rise of the
yeah.
machines mean. I
Now, do you
mean,
think that there's any coincidence that the whole satellite system that Elon Musk has in the sky, Skynet,
no,
has anything to do with
no,
Terminator?
no. I mean, it's these movies and stuff. I always say they real to a certain aspect. I mean, because for the simple fact that half the stuff you've seen back, let's say 5, 6, 7 years ago, it's like happening in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's crazy to think like that because if they think like this 5, 6 years ago and we was just looking at it and just took it at face value, they already had it already made, or they
oh
had a
yeah.
prototype
No,
of
no, no.
it, and you know what I mean. And right
I
now,
constantly stress that. I constantly stress that. Like you take a look at these things, for example, right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
you see that right there, and this,
yeah.
yeah,
Is that a
right there.
Motorola? Do they still make
That's a
Motorola?
Motorola. Hell
Oh
yeah, they make
wow!
Motorola's. What are you
Stop it.
man? I'm not even gonna,
Get you an Apple.
because I don't know. Nope, nope, nope. Fruit is to be eaten, not to be played with as technology.
Well, if
Anyway,
you hold on, there's a fruit, and if you can focus in, it's half eaten. Yeah, yeah.
oh man, you know why it's half eaten? Because it tastes bad.
Why?
They couldn't eat the whole thing. It's just horrible.
You know what? I'm gonna let you. You're not gonna be bashing
Let me go back.
Microsoft
Let me go
or
back to my idea.
Tesla or anything like that.
You have this, right, that you put your
Uh huh.
finger on it and boom, it opens up your phone. Now this is available to the general public, right?
Yeah.
Or you can just look at your phone, right? And boom,
Yeah.
your phone opens up. Just available to the general public. Do you know how long the
Yeah.
military has had this technology?
Back since the days of Dick Tracy when he had the first talking watch.
Right? You remember that?
It's
You
like
remember that?
1976, bro. That's like a year after I was born. I was like, now we got everybody got a watch.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a name brand watch, but it's a smartwatch. I can check my blood pressure. I can count my steps. I can count my calories. And I'm like, why? You know, I
Well,
mean, we went from not having digital access to digital phones and you know wearable smart tech, and I don't know. Maybe this might cause some kind of sickness in the end because you got radio waves going through your body now.
hey, who makes that?
Who makes this?
Yeah,
My watch? Apple.
yeah. Oh, that's an Apple Watch.
Yes.
You know why the reason I had this thing in my drawer for a minute, right? I had it
Hmm.
for a minute, and then I saw this story where this guy, his smartwatch saved his life
How?
because it picked up an arrhythmia in his heart
Oh wow.
that was saying that he was gonna, have a heart attack or a stroke or some shit in just a couple hours, and it took him. It told him like, hey, you better get your ass in your car and go to the fucking hospital because you're not gonna you're not gonna make it out in the next couple of hours.
Hey
Saved
man,
his
I'm
life.
checking mine right now.
Saved his life. No, it'll tell you. It'll tell you. It's programmed for like four or five different like heart rhythms that are consistent with like having a heart attack or a stroke or whatever.
Yeah.
But it
But
was
you know what
crazy.
that's but you know what that is, right?
What?
Metrics. And if you
Yes,
ever need
that's
metrics in your business to grow your business, to scale your business, I'm the guy. Not the watch, me. Okay. But you know, it's I always directly correlate anything with metrics because if the metrics are unbalanced, at least you got a smartwatch to tell you so. You know what I mean? You couldn't pick
yeah.
that up without significant entries of how your arrhythmia works or not. You know, but the closest thing I can find to that simulation is a dog. A dog can pick up on that, and I'll be like, I've seen a case in point. I seen a video not too long ago where there was a girl that was suffering from seizures, and she has them every so often, but she had one of those I don't know how you call it the care dogs and whatnot,
Yeah.
and she was shooting a live video, and the dog all of a sudden he just stopped, and then he was putting his paw on her, trying to tell her to sit down because if not, you know, he was alerted that the seizure was about to happen, and instead of her, the dog is very smart. Instead of her, you know, having a seizure and probably falling down, she would be sitting down instead when the seizure came along. And then so she was talking to the dog, talking to the dog, talking to the dog, and it's like, okay, I understand, I know. She sat down, had a seizure.
That's
You know what
crazy.
I'm saying? That's
That's crazy.
they say a dog is a man's best friend. I'm starting to believe it because you know, if they can pick up on stuff like that, they can pick up on earthquakes and
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know, bad things that's about to happen. The dog's alerted with I don't know if it's the senses or it's just built-in mechanism that they have. You know,
Yeah. Absolutely.
sometimes I wish I was a dog.
Absolutely. Well, you are, aren't you?
Arf, arf.
In your own respects.
In my own
Yeah,
respects, in my
man.
own respects. But
Um,
I'm sorry, YouTube and Facebook, that our special guest couldn't uh, be here throughout the whole show, but she was traveling. And my apologies to you. We're going to reshoot on Tuesday, and we're going to make sure we bring in. And now it might not be live, but we will post it in the group so everybody can see her story because I think she has a fantastic story.
yeah, it's unfortunate. It sounded like what we could, gather from the that it was really, you know, good. There's something in there that could be a lesson for a lot of people.
Yes,
I really
exactly.
want to dive into that whole horticulture thing that with her,
Yeah, I mean,
and
she
see
got
where
her
that's
start
taking
with
her.
that, and she was pretty good with that. And then when I reconnected with her because we went to school together, when I reconnected with her, and I was like, "What's up with all these plants? What's really going on?" And then she told me how that, you know, it saved her through depression states sometimes, but that's one of her main reasons of getting into the digital space as well because horticulture. She watched how you plant seeds and how you nurture it, how you take care of it. And that all translates into the business world as well. So
Yeah.
I was interested to see how that, correlates. And I was waiting for that story to come out because that's one of the story that we haven't heard from horticulture to digital marketing. So
Cool.
I think that would have been super awesome. And like I said, we're going to reshoot on Tuesday to make sure we get that message out because there's probably somebody in her place that probably does the same thing. Now, niches are a weird thing, and sometimes you don't know your niche, but sometimes you can make a niche. As crazy as
Yeah.
it sounds, I mean, you can gather a following with a lot of different things that you do, but it just depends on if it resonates with that person or not. So stay tuned. We will
Absolutely.
make sure we reconnect with her on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, yeah, for sure. We'll put it in the group as to what time we're gonna run it, and yeah, maybe we can go live. Why not? It's
Yeah.
gonna be one more day, so Wednesday will be
The finale.
I don't know. You want to
Finale.
make Shirella finale?
You know what? Why not? Why not?
Let's do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Let's do
So we
that.
skip Tuesday and we just do her for the finale since it's just me and Bob on Wednesday. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a
okay.
good
Even
idea,
better
I think.
idea.
Right? Yeah. That way we don't have an additional episode.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we'll just close it out at 20. So for those of you, we're closing this out, episode 20, season 2. We're gonna take a 2 week hiatus and then come back like spring chickens
Guess
to.
what, everybody? Bob approved my PTO. I'm going on vacation for 2 whole weeks. Don't ask me what I'm going to do. Don't ask me where I'm going to go because I don't know yet. But it depends
Lamont said it
on,
was okay for me to take a break because
yeah,
this just it's becoming my life.
it
You
is.
know,
It is.
it's every single day. It's just
You know what? Building a
it's taking
business,
a
I
toll
just
on
want to
me.
I want to add this. Building any business is gonna take a toll on you if it's just you, and it's just us, but we all have different parts of other businesses that we do. So podcasting is not, you know, just the only thing that we do. But we opened up podcasting because it was something that we talked about, something that we said, okay, we're going to do it. And then all of a sudden we just said, let's do it. And we're almost finishing our second season. And look where we are now. It's crazy, but you're going to have to do one or two things. You're going to have to say, I'm going to start today, or, it's day one or one day, pretty much. And we
Yeah,
started on that one day and then we never looked back. So that's word of it. The best advice I can give you, if you feel like you wanted to start anything, just start. You never know where you can end up in about 3, 6, 9 months from now. you know but if you don't start anything, then you're going to be in the same position you are 9 months from now. So
absolutely,
that's me,
absolutely.
your metric specialist, signing off, and I gave you my best advice for the day. So if you don't take anything with you, take this with you, day one or one day.
Absolutely. And I'm Bob G, your web design strategist. So when you're ready to make yourself a digital impression in the world, come and check me out. Until next time, guys, we will see you on Wednesday at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Until then, keep your hats on and the conversation's flowing.
And we're off. I think. Yeah, we should be. Well, that
Yeah,
was interesting.